I wanted to build the most annoying menace at the table. And looking deep into Spider-Man's identity and the story of Peter Parker, this powerful Spider-Man deck plays with a resource that most other decks ignore. But we'll get to that later. The Spider-Man of choice is Sensational Spider-Man, the only one who directly webs up his enemies on attack and can also draw cards to reload your web shooters. To capture Spider-Man's power, we need to design a deck that can control the battlefield the way Spider-Man can, with his webs, his tricks, and his quips.
I don't know if you've been in a fight before, but there's usually not this much talking.
Alright, sorry, my bad.
Trap the Trespassers locks the table down and spreads stun counters all over for you to draw cards from. Lost in the Maze also applies stun counters and covers Spider-Man when he's exposed. You can also hand Peter the Mjolnir
I knew it.
and let him bring the thunder. But the webs and stun counters are just the first layer. Spider-Man doesn't fight fair. He lets you overcommit, then he punishes you for it. Comeuppance feigns weakness and punishes a greedy attacker. Misleading Signpost takes an unstoppable force and points it somewhere else, and Misdirection swings danger to another foe. And if anyone ever acts up too much,
A menace!
just silence them with a web to the face. The webbing, the quips, his tingling spider sense, all of it combined creates the sensation of speed, where everything is under your control. And at its peak, this deck lets you live in that feeling completely, when you enter flow state like a miracle, or when your opponent freezes and only you can move, or when you take the opportune moment from everyone else and hand it back to yourself and go again. And that's the resource this whole deck runs on, because Spider-Man thrives on making time. But here is the tragedy of time. This deck weaves through time. It creates it for you. It robs it from everyone else. But that's Spider-Man. That's his amazing power. Peter Parker is a different story, because Peter never has enough time. Not for school, and not even time to make rent. And on that, Aunt May has a lesson for all of us.
When I was your age, I was head of the debate club, captain of the soccer team, and second violin in orchestra. Every year, I wanted a new feather in my cap. But when I tried to add honor roll student on top, I fell apart. Instead of being good at a few things, I wasn't good at anything. So, I scaled back. Balance is a process, not a destination. I'm still working on that. Oh, come on.
Spider-Man's strength comes from Peter Parker's endurance and the sacrifice he gives to weave through this impossible life.
But your father lived by a philosophy, a principle, really. He believed that if you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
And that choice is part of the Peter Parker experience. Every action we take, every moment of time that passes, we need to be purposeful with how we spend it. And that's why this deck is designed with extra emphasis on card flow and cantrips. Our cantrips serve as a way to spend every last bit of resource we have to frantically dig deeper for the next tool to smooth out our draws before the clock runs out. So that we can have that removal, that counterspell, or that board wipe ready, because we're already 3 steps ahead, thanks to our spider sense.
Peter Tingle. Please do not start calling it my Peter Tingle.
The Peter Parker story is a lonesome one, as he shoulders the burden of protecting his neighborhood and protecting his loved ones from danger. Yet, despite how much responsibility he chooses for himself, his strength comes from their support. And that's why with cards like Aunt May or the selfless police captain Stacy, people who are willing to take the fall for Peter.
What's wrong about you, Peter? This city needs you. Here. You're gonna need this.
Or Penny Parker and the Spider-Bot from another universe, they grant their strength to Peter through their +1/+1 counters. His multiversal peers, like Penny and Spider-Man 2099, both provides Peter with more resources to keep up the fight thanks to their card draw and damage effect. And Lila Holographic Assistant converts card draw to even more power on Peter. Spider-Woman keeps creatures and artifacts tapped down, and even the most unlikely allies can help Peter when he needs it the most, in ways that Flash would never even imagine. We could even get an upgrade for Peter to give him a little more strength and a little more draw.
You're in dire need of an upgrade. Systemic, top to bottom. 100-point restoration, that's why I'm here.
And it's all together with his family, friends, and his friendly neighborhood. Together, they let Peter be spectacular.
Yeah, Spider-Man!
To be greater than just a kid from Queens in a onesie.
It's not a onesie.
So when he puts on the suit, he becomes a symbol to the city. And through this support, he draws great power to get the job done. Yeah, I made a Spider-Man deck that suffers like Peter Parker. Sometimes the webs aren't enough, sometimes the alliances fall apart, and sometimes the clock runs out. It's not just responsibility. Time is the thing we are always chasing, and through our belief and support network, we can always come up on top. Because that's the Peter Parker story. The deck list to this video is on my deck building website, commandertemplate.com, where you can see how I organized everything by theme and function. Commander Template also guides your deck building through helpful recommendations based around your commander's mana value, and also includes helpful tools like recommending themes or auto-building your basics for a land base. If you like this video and want more Spider-Man themed deck techs, you can check out my Symbiote Spider-Man deck that attaches the symbiote onto another player's commander. Thanks for watching.